First question today comes from Steve Gells.
Hey, Louis, given we safe in assuming that you guys will treat Stroman similarly today?
I mean, yeah, once again, and I know this was shared early yesterday, Steve, when you guys asked about a pitch count. This guy's coming out of camp, like they're all built to the 100 pitch count. That's how we left camp, But now, understanding the days that they've been without throwing in game and having the high stress innings, that's where we got to monitor inning to inning what's going on and get the feedback from the pitcher and our conversations along with the pitching coach and performance staff as well in game. So, that's what led to the decision even, before the 100 pitch count. I know it was set yesterday, but that's how they come out as a buildup from camp. So, Stroman will be treated as we go in game. Let's see the stress of the innings and, the pitch counts, different things like that, how they go inning to inning, and then we can, we'll know when he'll come out.
Luis, it seems like for a while it was only pitch counts that were talked about. Now you talked about the up downs with Jake yesterday, and that's something that people are talking about a little bit more and more. How, when you're trying to make this decision, how much does the pitch count play in versus up downs now as you guys are learning more and more about pitchers' health?
That's a really good question, because that's something that I've been learning more and more in the last couple of years. And it's just, the stress of sitting down, coming back up, warming up, sitting down, coming back up, warming up, depending also as well if, the pitch count that you had in an inning is what causes the stress in arms. So as far as, when it comes down to arm care and things like that, that's where some of these decisions, and it's not that we're pulling guys where they still want to be in there. A guy wants to, still go, feels good. Like we also, that's good feedback. So it's nothing that necessarily like engraved in stone, like, okay, that's it. There's a conversation that leads to the decision. So, but the ups and downs, the explanation and some of the research that's been done, it's some of the things that I've been understanding more and more in the last couple of years. And that's where we come from, even though there's a buildup, the buildup that we come out from spring training, like the one we had. The 10 days plan plays also part in the decision. So, but the ups downs, that's what he means. It's just coming back, sitting down, coming back up, warming up, number of pitches in the inning and things like that.
Thanks.
Your next question comes from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Louis, just following up on what Steve asked. In your research about the up downs and stress and things like that, why did those up downs or the overall stress, why did that, if or if you've heard from Jeremy Hefner, or just what you've researched?
So, the research is not done by me specifically. I've been in those conversations just, to get more explanation and to get the feel of people that gone through, injuries and stress, as pitchers, and, as the pitch count keeps moving up. Once again, that doesn't get in the way of a guy throwing a complete game or reaching a mark even over the 100 pitch count. Once again, the feedback of the pitcher going inning to inning and going through the ups and downs it can lead into pitching a complete game and going the distance and things like that. But I think the explanation, and not my research, but the explanation that I've been getting in some of the meetings that I had is just how much it puts, because you put 20 pitches in one inning, and then you sit down and then you come back, you warm up, and you get your 8 pitches in or so, and then you have another 15, and there's also a situation where there's traffic and you're making more stress pitches, in clutch situations. Like those things play a role into the ups downs, and it's not necessarily like a perfect pitch count per inning, but it's more so like specific things that happen in the up down. So if you go once again to the decision yesterday, that the 10 days also play a role into it with the ups downs that Jake had. So that's where we came from, and that's as a group going to say this again, me as the manager, I make the final decision, but as a group convening and everyone knew where we were, as far as like Jake's feedback as well, to come out of the game at that moment.
Right. You had talked about your team's defense, like even coming out of camp, and then immediately yesterday you guys had that, play from Pilar to McNeil to Davis. What was the most satisfying part of that for you?
I mean, everything on our side. I mean, not the ball off the bat, obviously, but when just Pilar playing and the tempo of the ball coming back in, I thought every throw was perfect. It was like chest high to chest high. Watching McNeil getting rid of the ball that quick, it shows a lot of the things that we worked on in camp. We worked a lot in our fundamentals. So cutoff and relays was one of those fundamentals that we actually went through literally as a walkthrough. Like the first time we did them, we didn't even hit it off the fungo. We just placed balls in the outfield, and the guys just had to like align themselves looking back and communicating. And Lindor was a big part of that relay too, telling McNeil where to move and what to do. So it was, everything went really, really good in that play to get the out at third and minimize.
Mike Puma.
Luis, is it fair to say, I mean, just based on the fact you went to May and Luke last night, and they're the two new guys, I mean, do you look at those two as your two top setup options going into the late innings?
Yes, they are. They're guys that pitch in a lot of high leverage scenarios in their careers and in recent history, and they have the stuff to navigate through middle of the lineup and through tough hitters like Bryce Harper, and like Luke came in and faced, and I know it wasn't the outcome that we expected, but those guys that can come in a situation like that, they could come early. Yes, they could come early because we're gonna have different decisions made where there's a middle of the order earlier in the inning, earlier in the game, where a guy like may come and pitch against that middle of the order, knowing that probably that middle of the order is going to face Diaz later. That's the last time they go through. So those guys are definitely key guys in the bullpen. That's why there were big acquisitions for us in the offseason. And that's what they showed us in camp too, how good they are. And we have more weapons as well. I know we were talking about those too because of last night, but those guys are going to get big outs, and some of them, those two guys might get saved for us too this season. So we trust them highly.
And when it comes to guys like Familia and Betances, do they kind of have to work their way back to that point a little bit, just based on some of their unsteadiness?
So Familia, it's going to be a great weapon for us in the bullpen. We used him differently last year. We liked how he responded to it, as far as like using him for more than one inning. That's something that he hasn't done in a while, and he did it last year, and he helped us get through the tough season. I think this year he did a job in camp to put himself in the position to go for 2 innings. And the biggest thing for him is to come in and attack the zone and get batters to swing with his sinker, with the splitter, with the slider. I know that if he induces contact and the defense we have, we can have more than 1 inning and a low pitch count with his stuff. So that's the one thing we need from him is his command. But he will be in a role too. It's very important for us, where he could come in the middle or even later in the game. Betances is more of the 1 inning deal. He's always matched up well against either righties or lefties during the game. And when I say early, it's like middle part. So those guys are gonna pitch. They're definitely, they're not out of the winning equation that we have here as a bullpen. They make our bullpen really, really deep.
Your next question comes from Tim Healy.
Hey, Luis, what did you think, and what was the players' reaction to that education session today?
Well, Tim, I thought it was a productive video. I learned some from it. Me personally, like once again, even before the video, I'm gonna get the vaccine. And I've heard from some of the players that are getting the vaccine. I haven't heard the reaction of some of the players. I actually did from one, but it was before the video. He already told me that he was getting vaccinated. So it's not that the video caused or helped the decision. But I think it educated us a lot. We found out which one we were getting. And, I think there's some, questions and answers, here that were that we found out in that meeting. I don't want to reveal any of those, but it's I thought it was helpful. I thought it was really, really helpful. So, our goal here is to reach the percentage. I think we've, having this video today shows the encouragement we have for the guys to get vaccinated. We feel that this is, what's going to get us in the best spot as a team, to get things going, probably close to normality. I'm going to say like we were in the past. So everyone to be safe around each other and also their families and guys in the organization. So it was helpful.
You mentioned you're hoping to get to that percentage. Do you think the team will get 85% of its players vaccinated?
Once again, we hope to get there. Right now we're encouraging the guys. I think this video helped a lot today to educate us. We encourage the guys to go and do it and to get to that percentage, but that's something that we'll have to wait and see, so it's that I came out of the room where the video took place, and I really didn't have much conversations with the guys other than one guy, and I already knew that he was doing it. He was taking it.
Next question comes from Tim Britton.
Hey, Louis. To flip that today.
First of all, I like JD's at bats. Either way, I know JD when it came to us, he was well known for the platooning against lefties, but the last 2 years has been a lot better against righties. So I think he's going to give us quality of bats. I think he's going to drive in runs. He can hit for power. I think him and McNeil are a similar hitter. The only difference will be that McNeil will be the guy that will swing. I think he's one of the first 3 pitches that he saw yesterday. So, we can do some things there. We can have him in front of McCann too. McNeil's a guy that will also have a little bit more of an ability to run in front of Mac, if we have to like hit and run and do things like that. So, we have the left, right, left. If you want to take, you want to say combo there, where you can probably do some things. I know they only have one lefty in the pen and it throws like at the back end. But we do like the balance there and the mix of guys hitting behind the other there.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from Dave Lennon.
Hey, Luis, just back to the pitch count thing for a minute, just in general. Should we not think of 100 pitches as kind of the magic number anymore? Just because I know you mentioned the stress of different innings, which is always factored into things, but coming off a short season last year, maybe trying to get the guys back into a routine again. Should we just, people who are watching you guys now, just think of that 100 pitch thing as maybe not the number to look at anymore? Maybe it's more like 90 now. Does that make sense?
No, it's tough for me to say a number, David. I got to say 100 because that's how we build up guys coming out of spring. Okay. And we do reach that count because that's the count that, you want your starter to throw 9 innings. And, if that can happen. So I think if you put a slash to the pitch count, like that's the 9 innings, and that's why you want to leave spring training as a build-up. So I think everyone left spring training as that. But us monitoring what's happening in the game is what leads to the final pitch count. But to have a build-up and to have a final pitch count, I think are two different things. I'm always going to tell you guys where the guys are build up to. But then the level of stress or up downs or different things that we talk through the game, that's another thing. So that's why I don't once again, I can be misleading. I know it sounded maybe misleading yesterday when I said 100, but that's how we left camp. The guys were up to that number.
I mean, I just think that I'm sure a lot of your guys would say, Louis, that the pitch count that you have in spring training is probably not equal in stress to an actual regular season game, right? Just because of everything else that goes into it, the lineups they face. So that probably cuts the number down right off the jump, I bet.
They don't say that. They don't really compare. They don't say that. This is something that just happens in games, and we convene and we make the decision. But they really don't say like, okay, this is gonna go down or anything like that. They're all stretched out to that number of pitches.
Your next question comes from Anthony DeComo.
Hey, Luis. I just had a quick follow up on the video you guys watched today. Where was that from? Where was it produced? Was it a Major League Baseball thing or where?
No. Yeah, it wasn't Major League Baseball. It was we had an expert in vaccine, and it was from HSS, and it was through our not our head doctor, but our physician, Dr. McKelney, Kat. I don't know if you come across her. She's just been great to us in the last 2 years. She's helped us a lot. She's educated a lot going through these tough times, just to keep us healthy and safe, and our families as well. So she's the one that found the expert to do the Zoom video or meeting for us, because he was live, and that's how it took place, and everything was explained thoroughly. I mean, even though there's some tough terminology there, it was explained simply, I thought, for us to understand what which vaccine we'll be getting, and the other vaccines as well, and what's going on, and some of the research that's happened, and some of the things that got out there, and they're all explained. I thought it was really good. It was like 45 minutes, and I was locked in. I thought I got a lot from it.
And which vaccine will be made available to you?
It's the mRNA, so it's the Pfizer. We'll be getting the first doses starting on Thursday, post game.
Your next question comes from Andy Martino.
Louis, I was just wondering on that relay play that you talked about before, where you said Lindor was kind of helping to direct it. Just wondering to do that. Is that, I'm just a writer. I usually looking at the ball. Is that show a special level of engagement on Lindor, or is that just standard for any shortstop?
It's standard. The shortstop or the trailer relay should always direct the lead relay and stay off to the I'm going to say the glove side when the turn comes, so it gives a lane for the relay throw to go through. What was most impressive about the relay was that both throws in the air. That was impressive. So the clock on the play was outstanding. I mean, it's almost like the one relay that you film and you show the entire organization, like, this is what you do, nobody on first, double, possible, triple. I think the guys did a textbook. And yeah, Lindor was running it, but that's what we teach our shortstop to do, or our trailer, I should say, trailer relay man to do.
Thanks.
Luis, your final question comes from Tim Healy.
Hi, Luis. With Stroman pitching today in a game that counts for the first time in a long time, what will you look for from him that'll show you whether he's shaking off rust or maybe avoiding rust completely?
I mean, I think he's going to be really excited. I mean, he didn't pitch last year. I think it's going to be an exciting night for him to go out there once again after not going out there last year. You know, this is a guy that, you know, you see him out there and he's always, you know, he's pretty, you know, big field guy, shows a lot of emotions, you know, has fun in the game. So, you know, I'm just going to watch what he does. You know, this is guys, you can say he's a veteran pitcher. You know, it's been 7 years in the league. And he's been successful, very successful. So we'll have the same thing. And I'm gonna explain it again. It's like we'll go inning by inning, and we'll see the stress level. We'll talk to him. We'll see how he goes. You know, I think we have a really good day here, where I don't think it's too cold or, you know, or hot or anything. Like he should have a, you know, good thing going on. I know he's a guy that always stays hydrated and needs to stay hydrated through an outing. You know, a guy that, you know, sweats profusely and all that. So it's actually a good day for him to go out there and perform for us. See how far he can take us.
Luis, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thanks, guys.